Jonah Elliss was selected 76th overall by the Denver Broncos in the 2024 NFL Draft. Jonah was an edge rusher at the University of Utah and will be the Uta's highest drafted pass rusher since Nate Orchard, who was drafted with the 51st pick in 2015. I think what makes Jonah Elliss such an interesting prospect for the Broncos is the fact that he has grown up around a family completely dedicated to football. Jonah joins older siblings Caden, Christian, and Noah at the professional level. Caden is a starting linebacker for the Atlanta Falcons, Christian plays linebacker for the New England Patriots, and Noah is a defensive tackle for the Philadelphia Eagles. Jonah is also the first of the Ellis' children to be drafted, as both Christian and Noah went undrafted as prospects in 2021 and 2022. These brothers were fortunate enough to have an accomplished athlete of a father in Luther Ellis. Their father, Luther, ranks as one of the best players to ever put on a Lions uniform, and would see the final 2 years of his career on the Denver Broncos. Luther would also be the Broncos team chaplain for the Super Bowl 50 team in 2015. This is also the Broncos' first ever father-son duo in team history. Coming out of high school, Jonah Elliss was the highest ranked linebacker in Idaho and committed to Utah, where his father coached the defensive line. In 2021, Jonah started his freshman campaign, but it didn't go as well as he had hoped. He ended up being more of a bench player, recording only 15 tackles and 1 sack. It wasn't a terrible start, but it wasn't the kind of start you'd expect from a player with football encoded in his DNA. In 2022, everything changed for the better. Jonah Elliss switched from linebacker to defensive end and won the starting job during Utah's summer camp. He achieved an honorable mention All Pac-12 Conference. He tied for the team lead with 2 forced fumbles, played in 11 games with 8 starts, and made 26 tackles, 6 for a loss and 3 sacks. His impressive performance turned heads, but unfortunately his season was cut short by a torn labrum late in the season. In 2023, Jonah had his best year in college. He started in 10 games, made 37 tackles, 16 for a loss, 12 sacks, and forced 1 fumble. It was an outstanding season for Jonah. His top performance was against UCLA, where he made 10 tackles and 3.5 sacks. Unfortunately, he was struck by the injury bug again late in the season, suffering yet another torn labrum. Jonah Ellis' season was cut short, but he was a finalist for some awards. He achieved a consensus All-American finish and was also a finalist for the Polynesian College Football Player of the Year, as well as a Lombardi and the Ted Hendricks Award. The Broncos getting Jonah in the 3rd round is a steal. Jonah Elliss had 2 torn labrums in the last 2 seasons, which of course hurt his draft stock. If not for the injuries, Jonah would have been considered a mid to late 2nd round pick. The Broncos are trying to fill a spot on the defensive line that needs significant help, and getting Jonah is a high reward, low risk scenario. Jonah's biggest strength is in stopping the run game. He has long, massive arms that allow him to extend and be physical in the run game. Denver was ranked one of the worst run defenses in the league last year, and if you guys remember that amazing day in Miami, when the Dolphins exposed just how much dysfunction the Broncos allowed and tried to hide. Denver allowed 15 rushing touchdowns last year. The inability to rush the quarterback and stop the run were 2 of the many things that needed to be fixed on the team. Of course, Jonah Elliss isn't perfect. Scouts say Jonah struggles to set the edge against better opponents and isn't able to bend when trying to rush the quarterback. It's something that Von Miller excelled at. But fortunately for Jonah, these are all things that can be coached on and worked on. There is a lot of promise, a lot of upside to Jonah Elliss.
We do like the versatility. We think there's upside and growth potential. When you're looking at the draft, there's certain positions that just, all of a sudden, if you start projecting how does tomorrow look, the next day look, and a lot of times a pressure player will get a tie if there's too close. In this case, we had two players. He was, a half a round higher, and but I think you start. He's an edge player that plays with energy, effort, all those things you look for, and real good football makeup, gift character. We put a blue tag on some of these guys. He had that.
Jonah will be a project, and investing in this guy will do wonders for the Broncos. I can't wait to see what this guy can do on the field. Thanks to everyone who sat down and gave my video a watch. If you liked what you saw, leave a comment and subscribe. Hit the like button. Again, thank you guys for watching. Take care. Go Broncos.